with everything that's going on in the world right now, especially with what's going on in the Middle East, you know what I'm saying? People have been talking about there being a military draft, you know what I'm saying, in 2026, you know what I'm saying? And from what I've been seeing, apparently they're like boosting up, you know what I'm saying, the recruitment rate for the military. They're boosting up, you know what I'm saying, all that. And to be honest, bro, I ain't getting myself drafted, bro. You're gonna have to fuck around and find out. I'm not fighting for no fucking billionaire PDF file baby eating retard. You know what I'm saying? And we got it, but Gen Z is crashing out over 2026 military draft. I am 100% do not blame him, because I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this shit, I crashed out too, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Off camera, like, I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, you get what I mean. I'm also kind of upset by this, bro, but I really don't think that Gen Z is really gonna fall for this bait. You know what I mean? I don't think we're gonna do this. I don't think we're gonna, like, allow ourselves to get drafted. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, bro, I'd rather go to prison than go to the Middle East and murder children, bro. I'm good off that shit, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what's going on with this video, man, bro.
Diagnosed with schizophrenia. Bro, I'm not about to. I'm diagnosed with schizophrenia. Bro, I'm not about to fucking die for this billionaire, bro. Fuck y'all.
So I woke up to.
That's exactly how I feel, bro. Like, I'm not about to die for this nigga, bro.
And saw that we're gonna be having a war
Hell
draft
nah.
to go to Iran and fight alongside Israel against the Iranians and their nuclear bombs that they're days away from having.
The crazy part is, if y'all really think y'all are gonna get anyone in Gen Z or lower to go into this fucking war, you're fucking stupid. We're not doing that. That shit's not happening.
If they have a draft,
okay,
I ain't going. You can take me to jail. I am not going down there.
Yo. Ain't nobody having it, bro. Look, I'm with them, bro. I'm serious, bro. I am not getting fucking drafted for no oil capitalist dumbass niggas, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Seriously, bro. It's not fucking happening.
Will comply with lawful orders. Your job is to.
That's one thing that people forget, is like, when you join the military, you are not loyal to the fear. You are loyal to the Constitution. You follow the Constitution and the amendments, bro. You're not fighting for somebody. You're fighting for the Constitution. You know what I'm saying?
Protect the interests of the United States.
Yeah, the draft of 2026, aka people are freaking out because they think that something could change legally, because right now it is 18 to 26 that they are allowing for what could be considered.
I heard they boosted it up, and then they lessened the restriction on, like, marijuana and all that.
Considered for the draft,
which is fucking terrifying.
There's a bunch of other stuff. That's not what we're getting into, because we're getting into the freak out reaction to what people think might be coming in the future.
Well, break and fuck the news and fuck all of us, I guess, because it looks like the U.S. military draft is now talking about 18 through the ages of 39.
They're serious, bro.
I'm 30. On top of that, I'm diagnosed with schizophrenia, and I've been since the age of 16. Am I even useful for this? However, though, the only thing I can see is, like, unless you got bone spurs, you're going.
Nigga said bone spurs.
Bro, I'm not about to fucking die for this billionaire, bro. Fuck y'all.
Bro, you know what I heard was a good idea, bro? You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I'm pro LGBTQ rights. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I really am. I might have to go to my doctor and just tell him that, like, hey, like, I'm transitioning. I'm not gonna fucking lie to avoid this draft, because I feel like that's the only way you're gonna avoid this shit, bro.
So you can see people are freaking out, and they're finding ways already to be like, yeah, mental health, like, I can't do that. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be some kind of way they skirt the line. There's going to be some, like, psychologist, psychiatrist that's going to be like, do you really meet the DSM-5 criteria for this? Comments don't disappoint, though. For example, Amelia Knight says,
look up fragging, that'll make you ineligible immediately. Nah, that's crazy.
Look up fragging, that'll make you ineligible.
Nah, that's fragging is crazy,
immediately. Bro. And then this person said, my mom said I can't go. Yeah, my mom said I can't go outside and play right now. So, yeah, it's kind of bad. But it is weird, because this entire fragging thing has essentially become, like, the biggest search in relation to the draft, where people are like, that sounds like a good idea. Check this out if you didn't know.
If you were an officer in Vietnam and you made terrible decisions, you didn't just have to worry about the enemy. You had to worry about your own men coming out to kill you. Fragging is the act of intentional friendly fire.
That's fragging, bro. Fragging is crazy, bro. But honestly, though, like that's the best case scenario if the draft really does happen, which I think it will, to be honest, bro. At this point, bro, I think we're fucking cooked as a nation and as a society. I think people will resort to fragging, bro. I really think it will get like that, bro.
To get rid of somebody that you do not like in your company. And it usually involves a hand grenade. Grenades are the tool of choice for two reasons. One, it can't be traced back to you. And two, in the heat of combat, when everything's confusing, you could just casually chuck one over at the officer and be like, enemy grenade. The Vietnam War was not a patriotic war. People wanted to survive. They wanted to go home. They didn't want to
that's
win.
crazy.
So if you had an officer that was all gung-ho and super brave and just
kill that
wanted to charge
motherfucker,
into the enemy, more than likely you're going to get together with your homies and frag them. And on the other end of that spectrum, you have the coward squad leaders and officers who will put the new guys on point and make the new guys clear the mines. I watched a disgusting interview where a Vietnam veteran
that's insane, bro.
Was very proud of the fact that the new guy got blown to smithereens by the minefield and not his friends, because they made the new guy go clear it without any experience or help.
That's fucked up, bro. Nah, that's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up, bro. Look, if best case scenario, we get the CO. You know what I'm saying? That's it, bro. Let's not fragging is crazy, bro.
Over 1,000 men would lose their lives to fragging in the Vietnam War.
That's crazy.
Is an insane number.
So yeah, there are people that are looking into that as like, oh, if I ever got drafted, I would just do that. I'm like, that's wild that you're...
That's actually insane, though.
Planning to commit an actual felony crime to get... I get it, but I'm also like, your first jump is like, hey, let me frag people, is what people are advising in comments.
But that's a good scare tactic for the military, bro. That's a really good scare tactic, though.
And search history and things like that. Let's see
that's
some more
fucking wild.
The crazy part is, if y'all really think y'all are gonna get anyone in Gen Z or lower to go into this fucking war, you're fucking stupid. We're not doing that. That shit's not happening. Now, if you want to make it interesting, slap a solid 500K at my feet. I might consider it.
I might consider it. No, nigga.
I might consider it.
I'm not considering shit, no matter how much money you pay me. I'm not getting sent out there to murder children, bro. Fuck off.
But you can't threaten me with going to jail if I don't do it, because I'll go to jail.
Exactly. It's
I'll
like...
just walk to jail. I'll take myself. You know what I'm saying?
Don't turn myself in.
I'll go. You know what I'm saying? Willingly. But you can't threaten me with that. So, I don't know what you want to tell me. You know what I'm saying? Go to war or go to jail. I'm going to jail 10 times.
Yeah. I'm taking that jail charge, bro.
10 every time. But if you want to say, go to war, 500K right here, and $10,000 every time you kill someone.
Again, wild. Someone's like, I'm going to go to jail before that, but I also get it, your morals, whatever beliefs. But I will tell you that he brings up a really good point of money being a factor. Now, a lot of people during the OIF, OEF era did get bonuses for joining and things like that. And honestly, when I joined, it happened to kind of be on the downturn. And they were like, we're not giving those out anymore. And that is,
of course,
is very obvious. And they do look at ways that you could be eligible to join, whether that be...
Hey, if you give me a free Hellcat, I'll join. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just give me a free Hellcat. You know what I'm saying? And free car insurance for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? I'll gladly join. You know what I'm saying?
Waiving, legal issues that you may have had, waiving medical issues you may have had, waiving ASVAB scores for, whatever the case may be, to say that you have the...
I should take an IQ test and purposely score low.
Aptitude to actually do the job. I mean, if you've ever been in the military, they'll say there is a waiver for anything. Now, he talks about money, and I think that's important because I think this history teacher brings up a really good point of kind of the freak out people are having, but also the reality of what we could be seeing as the socioeconomic changes are happening in current day with what a war could bring on.
Good afternoon. Your history friend is here to remind you of something. You are probably not going to get drafted in 2026. Most of our population is overweight. In fact, if you answered the health...
Okay. That's kind of cooked when you say it like that. Hey, most of you niggas are fat as shit, bro. It's time to start losing some weight.
Screening questionnaire honestly most people would probably be disqualified. We need to remember Vietnam. Vietnam was grossly unpopular with the American people, to the point where American citizens lost their lives protesting the war. We had draft dodgers, see Velveeta Voldemort, as an example. We had other draft dodgers who actually had to flee the country because they didn't have rich daddies. Now, they wouldn't do the lottery draft. See, here in good old America, we have the poverty draft, which means all of the recruiters circle around poor schools like sharks, as well as
Oh my god, dude. Bro, that's true though. Bro, you probably seen that shit where like the military, they'll go to your school, and they'll have you, look at some cool equipment in a trailer, and it's all cool and stuff, but you know what I'm saying? As someone who's had like me myself, like my family members, I have many family members who are or currently in the military or are veterans, and I've learned from them to never join the fucking military. To me, it's just not worth it. No, generally, I'm being serious. Like, even if this war wasn't happening, I would never want to join the military. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of reasons why I wouldn't. Moral reasons. And I'm just not willing to risk my life for a country that doesn't care about me. You know what I'm saying?
any area children may congregate, like malls. They advertise on places like Reddit and YouTube. Do you want free college? Do you want affordable health care? You can have it all and more if you sell your soul to Uncle Sam. No, if they wanted to get people to willingly sign up to join World War III, they would offer what's called tabula rasa, a clean slate, a blank slate. If they started offering to clear out all of your debt, including student loans,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Nah, I'm kidding. Fuck that.
in exchange for going over there and, not dying for 3 years. You see how easy it would be to get people? There won't be a draft. It'll make you think you have a choice. That is all for now. Until next time, please stay safe, make good choices, don't forget to hydrate, and leave your thoughts below.
I don't think she's crazy for thinking this.
I agree with her. You know what I'm saying? The military is mainly compromised by, people who are born in poverty or foster kids, that kind of stuff. Those are the type of stuff that they will go to, more low income, foster, poverty, adoptions, that kind of shit.
Because as we've seen online, a lot of people are having harder and harder times paying for groceries, paying for healthcare, paying for their electric bills, paying to actually have a car.
But I don't even still, regardless of all that, I don't think that people would want to join the military regardless of that. From my experience, I don't think it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? As someone who has accumulated debt in the past, a lot of debt in the past, and was able to pay off a lot of it, there's other ways, you know what I'm saying, than the military. You know what I'm saying?
The average car value right now is,
of course, not everybody has that opportunity, but you get what I'm saying.
Around $50,000. Now let's look at the debt. Now, according to AI, they say the average American household holds roughly $105,000 in debt as of late 2025.
That's
and
insane.
You can see total debt is that, but mortgage is $268,000, auto loans $37,000, student loans $56,000, and credit cards is in.
My worst debt was credit card debt. That was my worst debt. I don't have school debt. I don't have loan debt anymore. Mortgage. I don't have a fucking mortgage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, oh shit. I'm trying to scroll down.
Anywhere from $5,500 to $11,000.
That's crazy.
So would that make you actually?
The fact that Gen X has over $100,000 of debt is crazy to this day.
She signed the dotted line and say you're going to go for the draft to actually clear your debts, get a GI Bill afterwards, have health care, 3 hot meals a day. If there is a downturn in socioeconomic status, that could drive an increase in people trying to join the military. That happened in 2008 in the financial crisis, because I was there when that happened. And essentially, it was a pretty crazy time where even a $20,000 to $30,000 paycheck isn't.
But it's just not. But it's the thing is that the reason why they did that recession, it was designed. It was designed to make people want to join the military. They purposely create this recession so that you join the military, bro. That's what it is. That's why it's if you can, try not to join the military, bro. Try not to get yourself in this, bro. Try not to.
E1, E2, E3
you know what I'm saying? My bad.
was a very valuable one. Because
try your best to find alternatives, bro. Seriously, do not let the government trick you into joining the military or joining if you don't want to. If you don't want to, Try to find an alternate path, bro.
Were hiring, and the economy did not find any bounce back until 2013 officially for the S&P 500. So essentially, you had people that were sitting there for 4 or 5 years where that would have been a good spot to park your investments or park your interest as far as growing and not going further into debt as far as socioeconomic status goes. But there are some people even making fun of this, which this person does, saying that they'd say goodbye to you.
I wonder how many people's running out right now to join the military. Like in 9/11, whenever we got bombed, like the Twin Towers were bombed, and all the thousands of people were like, yeah, I'm going to go fight for this country.
Yeah, but like, I mean, let's be honest. 9/11 was purposely planned.
We're going to take
but like, America is known for creating manufactured consent to get you to join or to get you to support. Like, that's what America does. It's designed this way. It's ran by the top 1%. They purposely do this shit. It's like, it's all rigged, bro.
Osama down, you know, it's time to join the military. I wonder how many people are doing that now. Probably not a lot. Everyone that I see are like, if they have a draft.
Like, isn't the military at the lowest recruitment rate ever? You know what I'm saying?
I ain't going. You can take me to jail. I am not going down there. I ain't heard one person say, yeah, send me on down there. I'll take care of them some bitches. But back then they was, which it's a different situation. Luckily, I meet one of the requirements that I ain't gonna be drafted regardless. So y'all some bitches can deal with that, not me. But, you know, there are a lot of people. It's all people talking about I ain't going, and they're gonna be in jail. And I guess if we don't nuke them, we ain't gonna have no soldiers if we run out, because hey, everybody's gonna be locked up. But hell, I ain't gonna be locked up, and I ain't gonna be dealing with it. But hey, if y'all do decide to go, I'll give you a good wave and a handshake bye. Just make sure y'all give me y'all's old lady's number before you leave.
This thing is stupid.
What in the boomhauer neckbeard is going on with it?
You done. This nigga's stupid, bro.
Guy, but I love how people are like, yeah, I'm already written off. Like, I'm going to go back to the first guy we were talking about. I do think that some people are going to be like, oh, I'm disqualified. I'm like, let's see. But you have to.
Yeah, but I think some of it is like cope, to be honest. Like, let's be real. But I think it's just like people are pre-assuming that, like, yeah, even if they do try, I'm not going to join. It's like one of that type. It's just that kind of shit.
Remember back in the day, even in Vietnam, to have a doctor write off something for you to say something was not available with service. I mean, some people had to pay off doctors probably during that, and doctors were probably booked out. I mean, you're talking about a healthcare system where even to get a regular appointment now is at least probably around 30 days plus whatever the cost is. If you don't have health insurance, you can imagine those books are going to get booked up pretty fast if people are trying to avoid any kind of war or kind of draft or something like that. So yeah, good luck with that. And maybe the MEPS Military Processing Center will probably be more in line to evaluate you and say whether you are eligible to serve or not serve, which I think is more telling here. Now we have a staff sergeant that has essentially gone on the record to say that, like, a lot of military right now, soldiers are saying that they would try and get out of a war if they ever were told to go deploy, but he brings the reality of what you raised your right hand for and promised to do for the US of A.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with these soldiers that are coming on this platform saying, oh, if I get told I'm being sent, oh, if I get orders saying I'm going overseas, I'm gonna go AWOL, I'm gonna hurt myself, I'm gonna try and commit suicide.
I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. I mean, you did join the military. If you do get sent out, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, you know what I'm saying, you don't serve the president, you serve the Constitution. And if it goes against the Constitution, you don't follow the law, so you don't follow the orders. If it, you know what I'm saying? And then there's laws too that you have to follow and when you're in the military. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter if you didn't know, like, you could still get convicted of a crime, you know what I'm saying, that you did while you're in the military, whatever it is, right? Like, it's something like that, right?
I'm a mentor, I'm gonna go crazy. What's wrong with y'all? This is the United States military. This is the United States military. You joined the military, yes, because you receive benefits, but in order to receive those benefits, you will comply with lawful orders.
Yeah, that's the thing though. They have to be lawful.
Lawful and moral orders. Your
moral
job is to protect the interests of the United States and its citizens and to protect them against terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Foreign and domestic. Y'all coming on here talking all this crazy business about how this ain't what I signed up for, or I'm not going to be doing that, I'm not listening to my commander. That is what you signed up for. That is what you are here for. To the soldiers that, or to the people that want to enlist, you are not enlisting just for free college. You are not enlisting for healthcare. You are not enlisting for a place to live. Yes, those come with the job. You are enlisting to be prepared to deploy at any moment and go and sacrifice your life, sacrifice your health, sacrifice your sleep, your food, your comfort in order to protect the United States and its interests. If the Honorable Donald J. Trump tells me that I'm leaving tomorrow, I'm gone, I'm going, and I'm gonna go fight my heart out. To the NCOs that are saying, I can't stand these soldiers, I get it. These new soldiers, I get it. But we also owe them realism and mentorship and bringing them forward and protecting them. To my NCOs and my officers currently overseas, y'all are responsible for keeping these soldiers safe and getting these 17, 18, 19-year-olds.
I'm not gonna lie, bro, cooking. But like, I mean, if you don't support why the U.S. is going to war, like, why did you join? That's like I said, that's why I never joined the military, because I don't support what America, I don't support the Western imperialistic, American and the United States of America. Like, I just don't support it. So why would I join the military? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I'm so against it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't support, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's not worth the benefits if I'm giving up my morals to join the military. You know what I'm saying?
Home. Go and serve with honor. Be dedicated. Be the best that you can be. But stop coming on this platform talking all that crazy nonsense about how you're not going to deploy and you're not going to listen to orders and this isn't what you signed up for. Yes, it is. This is what we signed up for, y'all.
When you join the military, you're pretty much giving away your rights. You know what I'm saying?
That's all. Rant over. Get over it. Be ready.
Yikes! So he is pissed off, and I think he has valid points.
I agree with them, like on a lot of that. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Talk about, but comments kind of emphasize even more of his point. For example, this person says from Blue Devil, they say, I blame boot camp for not being able to sort them out. Stand the F up, U.S. military.
Like, if you don't agree with the country is doing morally, then don't join in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
03 Iraq baby. And then this person says, you are so right. My son just took his oath for the Army. This is exactly what they sign up for when they take that oath. It specifically says this. He ships out to boot camp in August. He is ready, but my heart is not. I told him in his corner cheering him on. And that's interesting because you have an Iraq war vet where, as history goes on, that's become kind of controversial of going over there, where he was like, yeah, that's what I had to do. I signed up for that. I did that. And that's what was part of the gig, right? But I sit here and there is a reality that not many people are facing with this, is there are orders and steps to this process where not many people are looking at this from that balanced view of like, this is what you could expect from a draft. Now, I think she's a veteran, but she does talk about it, and here it is.
Gen Z, they'll never issue a draft, okay? There's like a 6-step process that they're going to go through. Learned a lot of lessons from Vietnam, and they don't want to repeat those lessons. First step that has to happen is Congress has to raise the defense budget. They have to say, okay, we are at war. Here's more money for the administration, right? That first step has to happen. Okay.
Right.
Next step, what's going to happen is all the recruiters are going to go to the rural and urban impoverished schools, and they're going to go look for the kids who don't have a 4.0 average.
I mean, I think a draft could still happen, though. Like, I mean, with the way things are going, it could still happen, bro. Right? Like, you could say there's a 6-step process, but like, you know what I'm saying? It could still happen at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what's going to happen, bro.
The kids are like the smart kids, but didn't get a 4.0, like the 3.5 to 3.9. Okay, they're going to go look for them. Okay, especially the poor kids. All right. The ones that smart, like they know they'll do well on the ASVAB, but they don't have a track to college. Okay. So they're going to have you take the ASVAB oh, good, you did such a good job. We have this job and we really need it. And here's some money if you join the military. We'll give you this money if you take
And they dragging them keys in your face, bruh.
this job. All the smart kid jobs, okay? And they'll lower that to like the under 3.5. They may not give you as much money, but they'll still do the exact same thing like they did with the smart kids, okay? Okay, then they're gonna go find the people who didn't graduate high school. Okay, because they're gonna lower the education requirement, people who don't have GEDs or high school diplomas, right? They'll do the same thing with the other kids, all right? The other young adults or adults, but they may not waive as much money unless you scored really high on the ASVAB. Next step is that they're going to go look for the undocumented, and they're going to waive citizenship in front of their face.
Oh my God, bruh. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's, nah, that's crazy. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
We will give you citizenship if you join the United States military. And after all that, and they still don't have the money, what do you know what they're going to do next? They're going to go talk to prior service, people who were in the military but been out. Especially, this happened after the 2008 housing crisis, okay? A lot of people that were prior service hadn't been in for 10 years. They went and found the prior service folks that, like, especially those that may have filed bankruptcy or foreclosed on their house or something like that. Like, we know you have experience. Here's a little bit of money. You want to come back in. And at that point, all the positions are filled. That is what will happen, okay? It happened.
Right.
Global war and terror, okay? Iraq and Afghanistan. It's exactly what happened, okay? Okay, do not worry. Do not worry about ever having a draft. It's just not going to happen. The government has a lot of ways to incentivize people to join the military. I'm considering going back commission, okay? And I think I've come in as like an 03. That's a pretty good check, I'm not gonna lie. Military isn't a terrible option, but for real, that's what's gonna happen. They'll never issue a draft. They'll just incentivize you to join the military.
And one thing not many people are aware of is when you sign up for the military, you have 8 years of service, right? Like, yes, you sign for 4 years out of the 8 total as active, and the rest is part of the IRR. So people could be recalled. People could be forced to stay longer if they're still on active duty. They do something called stop loss. That was something that we saw before, where people are made to actually stay longer. So to look at this from that perspective, I'm like, yeah, there are a lot of ways to incentivize this. If you look back at history, she is not wrong in saying what she has to say. I'm not going to bore you guys to read this, but there's a whole set process.
National emergency exceeding Department of War's capability to recruit and retain its total force strength requires Congress to amend the Military Selective Service Act to author. Yeah, there's that too. I know I'm not a part of that. They always like, anytime like you do your ID for the first time, they'll ask you if you want to be a part of the Selective Service. There's a lot of people that do that. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, like I said, not joining the military, not for me. You know what I'm saying? But for y'all to going out there, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't support why the war and you join, then just leave the military, bro. You know what I'm saying? At that point, like, you know what I'm saying?
Process that you can see right here, where essentially that decides how this is played out. Now, on top of that, I actually learned a little bit by researching for this video. They have this entire list of classifications where I was like, oh, so even if you're a conscientious objector, they could just put you in something that is not directly war related and combat related, and they could still kind of make you do things that are part of the military service, but not as a forward facing, you know, type of involvement in the war. I was like, oh, okay. So a lot of people think they're going to get out of things by going this way or that way, but really they're going to bring that in. And I would say, if anything, they probably learned a lot from the Vietnam era as well to kind of see what people did. But we're going to see if this ever comes to fruition. But I think we've had issues with draft issues.
Like I can see, like, the only reason why I feel like people are so big not to want to get deployed or not want to get like drafted and shit is because we don't want to fight for fucking Israel. That is the one big thing though out of all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't, like, that's why, you know, I don't want to fight for foreign interests. If I'm going to join the military, it's going to be for the country itself. Like, you know what I mean? But anyways, bro, I mean, me personally, bro, I mean, a draft could happen. Like, it, you know, it could happen. You know what I'm saying? But I highly, you know what I'm saying? I guess from the way it looks, you know what I'm saying? It probably won't. But, like, I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? it's such a weird time right now, bruh. And I think a lot of the reasons why a lot of people don't want to follow orders is because they don't want to fight for fucking Israel. You know what I'm saying? That's really what this is, to be honest, bro. Like, you know, yeah, like Israel and America both have similar, you know, interest and that sort of thing and stuff. But generally, it's like, I don't want to fight for a foreign government. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get drafted for a fucking billionaire, bro. Like, that's just what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? I get, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get, like, you know what I'm saying? If you're not in the military, you're, like, a little worried, like myself. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not worried, but I'm not getting drafted to shit, nigga. I ain't joining shit. Fuck out of here. But, like, it's just, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, I can see why some people are paranoid. But if you're already in the military, you've been in there for years, and the minute they start a war, you're like, oh, I'm not doing it. Like, that's just kind of dumb. You know what I'm saying? But I hope you have a good breakfast, a good dinner, good night, man. What do y'all think about this shit, man? You know what I'm saying? I love y'all, man. Peace.